What's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Watch Paint Dry with me, except today we are doing some beauty makeup too. Today I'm going to be doing the Taylor Swift Fortnight music video makeup look. When I saw this music video, I knew I had to give the makeup a try, but this makeup was hard. I'm not kidding. To start everything off, I'm going to block out my brows with an Elmer's glue stick and I'm going to cover them up because her eyebrows in the video are a different shape than mine are naturally. Once your brow hairs are thoroughly glued and combed down, you're going to want to set it with some setting powder. I'm just using the NYX HD finishing powder to set mine. Pretty good looking, huh? Then I'm going to go in with orange eyeshadow, just very lightly. You do not need a lot. And I'm putting that on my eyebrows to use as a color corrector to try to hide my dark hairs a little bit better. If you use too much, it will come off and blend in with your concealer, so I'm going over it again with setting powder to try to prevent that from happening. Next, we are priming the face with the Makeup Forever Redness Corrector Primer. This stuff is like magic. I'm just dabbing it in with my finger, and then I'm going to go on top of that with a concealer brush just to kind of like stipple it in how you would with a beauty blender. Oh yeah, baby. This e.l.f. primer is like magic. I'm filling in the rest of my face with the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer because I only use the redness corrector in areas where I felt I needed it. I'm patting it in with my hands because I don't want to mess up what I've already laid down with the corrector primer. Then I'm priming my lids with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. It's like the only one I ever use for eyeshadow, but it does work really well. For foundation, I'm going in with Clinique Even Better. I've had these two shades for a while, but I always blend them just to find like my perfect match. And sometimes I like to either spray my brush or spray my face with the setting spray before I blend it. I feel like that kind of helps because you're like, mixing in your setting spray with your base instead of just on top. I'm going over the brush strokes with a beauty blender because putting on foundation with a brush is not always the easiest for me. So I feel like a sponge is the only way I can really get it like clean. And then I'm really covering up my eyebrows now. And will you still be able to see them by the time I draw on Taylor's eyebrows? Yes, but I did the best I could. You can only do so much when you got brown eyebrows, okay? It's foundation round 2 with the same Clinique 2 shades that I'm mixing together. I do like this because I feel like it's a medium coverage, but it's very buildable. And then I'm going to conceal with the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I really thought people were exaggerating when they were like, this is the best concealer ever. Like, no, it's like for real really good. I was pretty impressed when I tried it. I'm also using this to cover up my eyebrows because I'm thinking that's going to help me get better coverage. And see, look, like you can hardly see them. Where'd they go? Magic trick. After concealer, it's setting time, baby. I'm using that NYX HD finishing powder just with that fluffy brush to go over my whole face and set everything in. Next, I'm going to contour my face with the KVD Shade and Light palette. With Taylor's makeup in the video, she looks very chiseled, very sculpted, no blush, no color, almost death-like. So that's kind of what I'm going for, chiseled, sculpted. Next, I'm going to make my eyebrows from scratch with the BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio. In the music video, her eyebrows are very thin and arched, so that's the look I'm going for. But they're sisters, not twins, so don't come for me. I'm going underneath the brow with the NARS concealer to highlight my new brow bone and finish covering up my brow hairs that were still sticking out to say hello. And then I'm going to go on top of my new eyebrows with my Clinique foundation and just blend in the top into the rest of my foundation and my forehead. I'm going to set that whole thing with the NYX HD finishing powder again. For eyeshadow, I'm starting with a neutral base all over the lid, and you can bring that up to the brow bone. I'm going to take this brown tan shade and pop that into the crease with a fluffy brush. I'm just going to blend it out, try to make a seamless transition between that base color I laid down and what is coming next on the lid. Next, it's time for the fun part. Will I look like a raccoon or will it be a smoky eye? You never know. I'm taking these two dark shades and I'm starting to just pack the color onto the lid. I quickly realized I did not like the brush I was using, so I switched to something a little bit fluffier, something that's easier to blend. You just keep laying down the color and then slowly start blending it out. Patience is the key to a good smoky eye. I'm going back in with that same brush I used for the crease color. I'm not adding additional product, I'm just using what's left on there to try to blend my edges in. And then I need to tightline my eyes with black eyeliner. If you know me or you've seen any of my other videos, you know that this Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara is my absolute favorite. So I always have to use that for my mascara. I just feel like it lengthens and it volumizes at the same time. I like what it does for me, may not be for everybody. After that, I'm gonna go in with this red lipstick I found from Mary Kay. I realized I don't have any other red lipstick, so maybe I need to go shopping. But I didn't like the way it looked alone, so I'm taking black eyeshadow on an angled brush and I'm trying to line my lips with it and blend it into the color to make a more muted red. Just to go with the like dead, chiseled, hollowed out vibe, you know? Did somebody call the ugly stepsister from Shrek? Add a beauty mark, I could be her. But other than that, the makeup's done, it looks pretty good. So now we're getting into the really fun part, which is the tattoos. I was dreading this. I already did this makeup look once and it did not end very well. So this was my second attempt and this time I was determined to do it better. I was checking my progress in the mirror throughout and I was like, okay, like this is not going bad so far. I filled in the words "stay away" above my right eyebrow and now I'm filling in the two playing cards that are above that. All these tattoos were hand painted backwards in the mirror because to get them to look right, they have to be backwards so that way the person across from you can read them. And here I'm trying to fill in the script style letters on my forehead. It's like DDP or something like that. This was hard, really hard. I'm getting fatigued throughout this, which like sounds so stupid because have I done a lot? No, but did this part actually take me like probably 30 minutes? Like the tattoos were the longest part, but I was pretty proud of how it turned out. Now I'm starting to work on the barbed wire. She's got like a barbed wire around the top of her forehead for this. And I painted my face in sections so that way I could do the same makeup reveal that she does, which made it easier but harder at the same time. There was no freedom to choose what I wanted to choose to paint. It was you have to do this next, but that also kept me on track. Next I'm just filling in the sword next to my eye and then I'm going to start to work on the hammer, and then there's a couple little things under the eye like a smiley face with X's for the eyes, the Playboy bunny, and I think a heart. Now because you only get the front view of Taylor's face, I did so much Googling to look at Post Malone's face, see if they had angles at the different sides. This part is supposed to be like an armored hand, like a hand in armored gloves, and I couldn't paint that, so I just filled in a shape. But who's gonna see it? Nobody, because I didn't even know that's what it was when I was looking at Taylor's face straight on. And then I'm making like this ball and chain thing. She's got like this spiky thing next to her mouth. I have to say though, this album is probably my favorite of Taylor Swift's, and I'm sure everybody who loves Taylor Swift says that, but it was so good, and every time I listen to it, I think I know what my favorite track is, and then I change my mind. So for me, I'm stuck between Down Bad, Guilty as Sin, and The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. But they're all so good. Like, how do you choose a favorite, honestly? Now I'm filling in the word poop, or I think it was poop, but I've seen some other people paint it as like DDP again, and then the famous Always Tired under the eyes. The first time I painted this, instead of stay away over my eyebrow, I thought it said sail away. So how embarrassing is that when I was done, I was like, wow, that's really not what it says. Then I'm working on finishing the barbed wire, which the barbed wire looked a lot better as I went. I was finally getting the hang of the shapes. At the beginning, it was not so great, but it got better as time went on. And then she's got this like tree looking thing next to her eye on the left. So I started with like the branches, and then I'm filling in with dots and curves and stuff to try to just make it resemble what it looks like on her face. My tree branch is looking good, so I draw my heart next to the tree branch and fill it in. At this point, I'm very proud of how this is going. I'm adding the P next to the two Ds, the script P, to the best of my ability, and then I have to fill in tired under my left eye. At this point, I had been painting these tattoos backwards in the mirror for over an hour. So I'm like, is that a D or is that a B? Does that look right? But I just went with it and I was like, well, if it's wrong, I guess I'll find out when I look at the footage, and that'll be embarrassing too, but it's fine. She's got this saw blade looking thing on her left cheek, so that's what I'm trying to replicate next. If you look up pictures of Post Malone's tattoos, you'll see that he's also got a skull with a crown on it on the left side over here, closer to the ear. But I had a very hard time painting that, so this was another one where I just filled in the shape, called it a day. You do the best you can with what you got. Here's where I said, oh fuck yeah, we are finally done. I did it. Here's the final look. I am honestly really proud of how this turned out. This painting was a challenge for me. Painting everything backwards in the mirror and script style I am not the best at, so it was definitely a learning experience. If you like this video, you should come back because there will be more like it. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Take two. Oh god, the things you do for the internet. Gross. Oh, it has cat hair on it now. Alright, good thing I don't care about these.
That good?
I think we did.
What?
Yeah.
Can you turn it off?